Okay, this is the introductory video for Ride Salerno from Grognard Simulations. Now this has all the expansions, the 3 expansions to the main game. The only problem is the table space is absolutely huge. There's one strip of maps I still can't fit on this table, so I'll be playing those off board somewhere. I don't know what I'll do with them. I might stick them on the wall maybe. Now, I'm gonna come down really hard on this game, I'm afraid. I've got a very negative opinion of it after the setup. The setup has taken me 2 days. It's absolutely horrendous. The charts and things provided are hopelessly inadequate. It doesn't help that they've also got errors on them as well. Some things are referred to like as Panzer artillery, and then they'll be called Panzer Jaeger on other charts. It's not clear which units you're supposed to be setting up. Looking at the charts, I eventually worked it all out, but it took me a horrendous amount of time and effort to do that. Another thing is the counters, because they're very small and they're very busy counters. It's really difficult to read the counters. I was constantly having to get a magnifying glass out to do things, to find out which units were which. Also, you've got these setup charts, but it's not clear from the setup charts what units belong in each box. You know, it'll say A1. Now, is that supposed to be A1, B, B1, C1, D1, E1, or is it supposed to be A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, for example? That isn't obvious, and it causes lots of problems during setup. Other things, the colour coding is very, very difficult. Don't, whatever you do, try and set this up without those setup charts. You're in for a world of pain if you do. Now, even with the setup charts, you're looking at the colour differences. I don't know if I can show you an example of some, yeah. This is where the different colour differences. Here's some here. These are casualties from the various British units which you apply during setup. As you can see, you've got a pink one there, a peach one there, and a sort of yellowy orange, or orange I'll call it there. Look how close these are. Like this one down here, pink and thingamajig. They're not the worst examples. There's some worse examples of that on the German side. If your colour vision isn't spot on, you're going to find this difficult in terms of if you've punched all the counters out and then sticking them on the sheets. If you're punching them out as you're putting the sheets up, it shouldn't be so bad. What else? The only other comment I'll make about it is I'm not quite sure about the historical accuracy of these setups. I know we're on the 10th of September, so the original landing was yesterday, I would say. Now, I know that the 16th Panzer was operating a series of Kampfgruppen all over the map at this point in time. Now, I know, well, there are no Kampfgruppen in this game, which, I don't know, historically, it certainly has at the start of the 10th, it's got the Germans operating a conventional command setup as far as I can see. So maybe that's just been done for simplicity. If we look at charts, because you've got all the expansions, you're getting a lot of duplication of your charts. So you can end up with a massive of charts where I've tried to basically combine charts wherever I can. So, for example, here I'm using the 16th Panzer expansion to do Americans and British rather than having two separate charts like this. And then there's other chart duplication that I've removed as well. But that's fair enough. That's a consequence of having all the modules together. Now, other things I would say, the rules look very, very slimline. There's not many pages, but I think the reason for that is it's going to come out. I suspect the reason for that is the rules aren't going to be very clear, because there certainly aren't huge numbers of examples inside the rulebook, but we'll leave the rules for the moment. So as I say, I've come down really harshly on this game, and that's only because of the setup is such a horrendously unpleasant experience. I came close to abandoning it, and I don't think I've ever abandoned a game on setup before. I've abandoned a few games when I've tried to start playing them and found the rules have been ridiculously convoluted. But anyway, that's my little rant. And let's hope things pick up when we start playing.